Hey guys, we're back and we're ready to make some flowers. Okay, that was weird. Welcome again to my channel. I am Lisa with the Hardwood Forest, and I'm the artist that makes all of these beautiful felt flowers and felt crafts on here. And I am so excited to walk you through the sunflower today and little bud. Fall is coming and these are just such a beautiful flower and one that can last forever on your counter if you make it out of felt. Let me walk you through how I make this. In order to make this, I sell a wonderfully curated kit of all of the materials that you need. So I offer two different kits. One that's a hand cut kit where you're cutting out all of the petals, all of the leaves, everything. Or you can do a pre-cut kit and that cuts out a lot of the components for you. So that way you're only having to cut a few things. Let me show you what is in each kit. In your hand cut kit, it's gonna come with all of these wonderful freezer paper stencils that you can literally just iron onto your felt and then just follow the lines and cut everything out. It's gonna come with all of the wire you need and the center strips. So this is what's in the hand cut kit. So this is staying the same, but if you do the pre-cut kit, these ones you do have to hand cut, sorry guys, but comes with your leaves and all your petals to make your sunflower. So this is kind of like a pseudo pre-cut kit. Not everything's gonna be done for you, but I did as much as I could for you. Let's talk about the tools you need. First thing you need is needle nose pliers. We have our long shears. These help make really smooth cut lines. And your snips, which are just do your lot of fine detail cutting. You want an awl, which is basically just like a little pick. And your trusty glue gun. I love the Surebonder glue gun. It is totally my jam, and Surebonder glue sticks. For your freezer paper stencils, you're also gonna want an iron. If you got the hand cut kit, I'm gonna go ahead and walk through how I use my freezer paper stencils. And if you got the pre-cut kit, just zoom on by. So I have cut out one small petal just for the sake of the video, but if you're going to do the whole page, go ahead and just lay the whole freezer paper down, or you can cut them out smaller, however you like. So you're gonna need 24 of these total, but it's all on your stencil. So this is my hot iron. It is at the high cotton setting with no steam. Freezer paper has a shiny side and a matte side. So the matte side has the printed stencil on it. The shiny side goes down and it's actually melting the wax, so it's kind of adhering to the felt. So now I'm gonna grab my big scissors because it's got one smooth long line. It's just easier to just never move your scissors and get one even cut, and that's just gonna give you a really, really smooth line. I'm gonna do that again, and you're just gonna follow the guide, and super easy, easy peasy. And then all you do is go ahead and peel off your stencil and you have a perfect little petal. So you're gonna make 24 of these smaller ones and 24 of the larger ones. They are all. It's YouTube magic. So the next fun thing about these is we're actually gonna dye them. So you don't have to do this step, but if you look at the finished ones, they've got just that brighter orange center that's fanning out, and it really does add a ton to your flower. What I use to color the felt is Pan Pastels. I'm just picking this super amazing orange shade, and I'll link the one that I specifically use below, but you can totally use a broad variety of things. You can leave them blank, you don't even have to dye in them at all, or you can use eyeshadows, the little pastel sticks. You can use watercolor, markers, so many things that you can color. I'll have another video with all of the coloring options that you can use. I usually stick to the Pan Pastels just because they're reliable and I can keep it very uniform on all my products. So how to do this is it comes with a lot of these little applicator sponges. And I'm just gonna dab, 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 and then just kinda get the bottom part of each of my petals. So you're gonna do this to all of the bottom of all of your yellow petals. And super fun and easy. That's all it takes. All right, so I went ahead and did a bunch already, but we're gonna prep these ones first. To prep these petals again, we're gonna go ahead and take one petal, put a little bit of glue right in the middle. So your glue is just right at this line here, and squeeze shut. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pinch and do this to each of our petals on the large and the small ones. And this is just adding a little bit of character and like dimension to your petals. So a flat one is boring and then this one's got some shape to it. So I've got 24 of the larger ones that have been all dyed and then pinched, and then 24 of my smaller ones that have been dyed and pinched. So now we're gonna take our long strips, and these are 12 by 3/4 of an inch. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna snip them in little snippy snips. But I'm gonna show you how to elevate this if you want to make them look a little bit more fun. So if you notice on that's already been cut, I used pinking shears to make the little triangles on top, and it definitely adds a little bit of texture to the flower. You don't need them, but it's way better. You need them. The link's below, just buy them because you'll be happy that you have them. So let me show you what they look like. So these are the different scissors that add a bunch of fun different shapes to your cutting. So for instance, this one right here is just like a zigzag, and it's called a pinking shear. But if you cut off the top portion of it, it just makes a fun little zigzag that makes your inside of your sunflower like nice and pokey, like a real sunflower. Also, this definitely helps give you kind of like cutting guidelines. So you would cut at each little valley of each little mountain, and so each time you know you're cutting a perfect little fringed piece because it's going to be the same every time. Like a little alligator tee, not pinking shears, alligator shears. I'm coining a new term. So you're gonna cut at each little mountain valley, and that way each one is a little bit thinner, and you got little spikies for your middle of your sunflower, and it just gives a little bit of extra texture, just like a real sunflower has. We're gonna cut at each valley, and we're gonna keep doing this all the way down. So the large sunflower has 4 of these strips. The small sunflower has 2 of these. So it is a lot of cutting. When you're cutting too, be sure not to go all the way down to the bottom or you're gonna cut the strip in half. So go almost all the way down. It's a very technical term. Almost. Not all the way. I'm not gonna give you a measurement. Because I mean really, even if you were this far, it's still gonna get off the same effect. And you can probably see I'm not doing a perfect job right now. But that's okay, because flowers are imperfect, and that's what makes them beautiful. Perfection in the imperfect. All right, I'm gonna bring this down and just finish this quickly. Okay, perfect. So we've got this one, and then I already went ahead and cut my 2 green strips. We have 2 brown and 2 green. This is for our big sunflower. And then this one is for our baby sunflower. We're gonna go ahead and put these aside. I'm gonna show you the big sunflower. It's the exact same steps as the baby sunflower, but it's just a little bit smaller. So we're gonna do green on the inside, and we're gonna just go ahead and put a little bit of glue right at the bottom, and then we're gonna just start rolling. I like to glue the entire thing, but you can't put glue on the whole thing at once. You need to do small little patches because the glue will dry and then it won't work. All right, so we're just gonna keep rolling and rolling. So this is 1. So if you were doing the mini one at this point, you would take your brown now and go 1 time around. But on the large one, we're gonna keep going with our green. And put more glue in our glue stick. So I'm putting a little bit of glue on our ball, or our center, and then just matching this up, and then I'm just gonna keep going. And we're gonna roll it some more. And then just sing a song like rolling, we're rolling down the river. I can't sing it all, so I know that. You don't need to tell me that. I'm aware. But I'm still gonna do it because it's fun. Okay, so we're rolling. We're not rolling down a river. We're rolling down Sunflower Lane. I don't know if that's a thing. Okay, so now we're gonna do that again, but with the brown one this time. And we're gonna keep on rolling. I did a long stretch that time, so I'm gonna roll quickly before my glue dries. It also helps when your glue gun is full of glue. Ooh, and you don't drop things. Okay, so that's one, and then one more, because sunflowers have ridiculously large centers. Oops, I'm getting a little crazy, but that's okay, because nobody's gonna know, except for all of you that are watching. Alright, so there is your center. And see how much dimension the little alligator teeth, I'm not gonna call them pinky shears anymore, they're alligator teeth. So all of those little teeth make so much dimension and character to your center. So here's another thing, you can make your centers really, really tight like this, or you can really open them up. But all of this is really, really glued together, so you can really play with it and have a really, really largely open flower, or you can really squeeze it, whoops, and throw it around, and it's really tight and small. Okay, so we're gonna grab all of our large petals here. We're gonna start putting them around our flower. So there's 2 layers, so it's 2 layers of 12. So we're gonna pull out 12 petals here first. So we're gonna do 12 petals first. And this, we're gonna make them like uniform all the way around. So like these ones, when we glue them on, are gonna be right across from each other. We're gonna go here, here, and then we're gonna put 2 in between each of the 4 original ones. So think of a clock. So we're literally doing one at every single number on a clock, because there's 12. I just thought of that. So I feel really, really smart right now for that analogy. So I'll just leave that down. So I'll grab one and I'll put our 12 o'clock down. And then we're gonna put a little bit of glue right at the edge here, and then glue that down right here. So let's see, twist, twist, twist. So you can see that. So it's just right there. It's not all the way at the base, it's not all the way at the top, it's kind of like splitting right in the middle. And that's what it looks like from the top. So now I'm gonna turn it all the way around, and I'm gonna get our next petal and go directly across from it. So your 6 o'clock. And hey, if you're teaching your child how to do time, this would be a great craft to do with them.
Your 14-year-old daughter.
What?
No, just, sorry, go ahead. This is not a 4-year-old craft, this is a 14-year-old daughter craft.
I don't know, when do you learn time? In like 8th? No, when you're like 8? 7? Okay, so 8-year-olds, this might be a little much, but they can watch you and they can tell you what time it is when you're doing it. Sorry, cameraman. Trying to make me feel bad over here. Being small children with hot glue guns. Probably not a good idea. As you can see with my Band-Aid, hot glue guns are hot. All right, so now I'm just going through and putting them in between. Oops, oops, oops. Come on, little guy. And don't worry about the sides if it gets messy over here, because we're actually gonna cover it all up so you won't see it. I mean, like, try not to be messy, but like, if you are messy, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so this is layer 1, and now we're gonna go ahead and start working on layer 2. This time, we're gonna go ahead and glue them, and we're gonna go right in between the top 2 layers. So these 2 petals, we're gonna go right in between right there. So we're gonna glue them in the exact same way and just go right in between our other layers so that it's right kind of peekabooing behind them. So keep going all the way around the flower until you've got all your petals on. So I went ahead and made the baby too. It's literally the exact same as the mama sunflower. It's just a little bit smaller petals and less of a center. So you got your mama sunflower and your baby sunflower. So we're gonna cut the back pieces, and essentially they're gonna look like this. So I know this is like a scary shape, but trust me, this is really, really easy to hand cut. This I'm gonna already have cut out for you in your kit, so don't even worry about that, but it is a 4x4 and a 3x3. So for the big one, well, it's exactly the same on both of them. We're actually just gonna cut a circle, and we're gonna stay close to the edge. So if you see, I'm not really cutting a ton off here. And this doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Although that looks pretty good. I don't do that all the time. Proud of that circle that I just cut by hand. So now we're gonna fold it in half, and we're gonna find the middle point, and we're gonna go in about, you know, 3/4 of an inch in and snip it. And then we're gonna do that again. We're gonna find the halfway mark here. So go to your geometry days and do it again. And then cut that one in half again here. And that one in half there too. And then do that again on this side. So this is just a really, really easy way to keep everything uniform. And then we're also gonna do that in the middle of our fold line too, because that's really long. Okay, like so. Now you can't really see that on camera, but they've got little slits. Okay, so in order to cut these, I'm gonna move these out so it focuses here. Okay, so you're gonna find the middle of this little flap, and you're just gonna arch it in to the base. So you're just gonna make a little curve right there. And we're gonna make that curve all the way around on each one in one direction. And then just so you know what I'm doing, if you flip it over, now we're gonna do this way. If you arch it that way, now you have a nice little pointy point. So I go one direction the first time and just arch them in. And if you're left-handed, I'm sure you're gonna go the other way first, but this makes sense for me to go this way. And this just helps give you your own little guides on where to stop and start every time. And okay, this is going on the bottom of your sunflower. So if you end up making this and you're like, oh, that's so ugly and not perfect, who cares? It's on the bottom of your flower. No one's gonna see it. Unless people do like pick them up and like, oh, what's underneath here? But that's rude. Tell them not to do that. So I'm gonna go backwards, or I flipped it upside down, and now I'm doing the other side and just making this little arch shape. Super, super easy. Just like that. Oops, I missed one. Like that. So you're gonna do this twice, and the same thing for the small one twice. So on the baby one, I'm actually cutting this one in thirds instead of half because it's smaller. Boop. Like that. So it's a little bit less of less points on this one. But that's okay if your points don't line up or if they're smaller. Not a big deal. Flowers are crazy in nature and they like to live by their own beat and do whatever they want. So will your flowers. I'm gonna flip it and make all those beautiful little notches. This part is super relaxing for me. I can make these all day. Okay, now I've got 2 of these. Okay, so we have our 2 bases cut out, and now we're going to get our 18 gauge wire that's included in your box and attach them to our leaf bases and then our flowers. So let's take the long one first. We're gonna do the exact same thing on both of these. So I will explain it twice because it's a little tricky. So we're gonna take the top and we're gonna make like a little snaily curl. Here we go. And then we're gonna curl this and make kind of a large little snail piece. We're actually gonna turn it up like this and kind of sandwich it together and then turn it back over so it makes a table. And this is what your flower is going to be sitting on. Let's straighten that a little bit. This is just a nice, really sturdy base for something that's gonna hold your flower well. So we're gonna do the exact same thing on the smaller one. I'm gonna go a little bit faster here, but you're gonna make a little snail. This one doesn't have to be as big because it is a smaller flower. And then we're gonna twist, twist, and smash and turn. Like that. So you're gonna take your two pieces. I'm just lining them up roughly together. Take your awl and poke a hole in between, just like so. And do the same thing on your bigger ones. Like that, just roughly somewhere close to the middle. So I'm gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna poke one through the wire, get it close to the center, and I'm gonna put a generous amount of glue all around. Because we're really wanting to secure this flower down. So this is the bigger one, so we're gonna put the bigger one down first. I'm really gonna hold it and get all the glue and these little tails kind of pushed out. This is gonna hold down all of our petals really well, and it's gonna hold our flower to our wire really well. And again, this is the part where you can really like open up the center or you can really tighten it up. So whatever look you really want. Felt is pretty forgiving, so you can do a lot to mess with it. Oh, nope, I forgot, we got two bases. Silly me. So this one, you don't need as much glue. I'm literally making a circle around, and I'm going to make it not line up perfectly. I'm gonna kind of go between those other I don't know, notches, mountains. And this is the part where you can kind of like fray it down, kind of like a real sunflower has like multiple layers that kind of frays out on the bottom. And it's on the bottom, so it's not a big deal. And we're going to do the exact same thing on your smaller one. Take off that. And again, a generous amount on the first layer. And I'm getting each little mountain. That down and really smush it on. Like so. Pretty little baby. And then do it one more time. Put a little bead of glue around. Like so, and then push it right back up. And since we didn't do all the way to the edge, you've got the little flap on here too. That kind of comes down. So on the baby one, on the end, we're gonna take one of our leaves and glue it onto the end of this leaf, or on the end of this stem. Like so. Then you're gonna take your other small, this is 22 gauge, this is a little bit thinner, and it's a little bit more flexible. And you're gonna glue your other two pieces of leaf onto this. I need one more glue stick. Okay, put a little bit more glue down. Woo, we're getting a little floppy. All right, I'm gonna focus on one at a time since it's just getting floppy floppies. Okay. Sometimes it's better to do one at a time. I'm impatient, so I'm doing two. Okay, so now let's assemble this and then we are like basically done. Okay, so we're gonna get our baby here first, and we're gonna put it out a little bit of ways because we definitely want to see, we want to be able to see him. So if you put him in too close, you're not gonna see him. He's gonna be hiding under its mama. So we're gonna just kind of put him out, give him enough room, and then start turning about here. So this is 18 gauge wire on 18 gauge wire. So this is really thick. So you're gonna need to put a little bit of pressure on it, and you're gonna wanna roll this as tight as you can because you definitely don't want it moving around and getting it a little flopsy. So then you're gonna do this again, grab your other leaf. This one's a lot easier to bend around, but you're also gonna wanna do it pretty tight. I'm literally doing it over the other spiral, and that's also gonna help lock it in. We're just gonna sit there and turn our leaves and move them and manipulate them where we want. Get a bunch of our spider webs off, and then we can turn you and just fuss with it, and you just made yourself a sweet little mama sunflower and a baby sunflower. I hope you loved making this with me because I loved making this and it was so much fun. It's one of my favorite flowers to make because it's just so big and full and gorgeous. But I hope you loved it, so feel free to like and comment and share away so that others can join in the fun. And don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe so that you don't miss any future tutorials. So feel free to comment if you have any suggestions on future tutorials that you would like me to do and new kits to produce, or if you have any questions of where I sourced anything, or really any questions at all. Shop link below if you want to get the kits or any of the materials that I use, just extras on the side. Also, I've got links below to all of the tools that I used. That way you can just buy directly and have that ready to go when you get your kit in the mail. Thank you so much, guys, and until next time, see you later!